In the heart of a desolate valley, where the sun rarely broke through the heavy clouds, lay the village of Hollow Creek. Its name, once a quaint reference to the meandering stream that ran through it, had grown ominous over the years. The villagers spoke in hushed tones about the nights where the fog rolled in thick, wrapping the homes in a suffocating embrace. One such night, a newcomer named Eli arrived, seeking refuge from a world that had become too chaotic. The villagers welcomed him with wary smiles, their eyes darting to the shadows. "Stay close to the fire," an old woman advised, "and don't wander after dark." Curiosity prickled at Eli, but he nodded, settling into the small, creaky inn at the center of town. As night fell, he could hear the whispers of the villagers outside, their laughter swallowed by the thick fog. After a few nights, the whispers grew louder, more frantic. Eli learned of the Whistler, a figure that stalked the village during the foggy nights, luring residents into the woods with an enchanting melody. Those who followed never returned. The villagers had grown accustomed to the loss, their eyes dull with grief, but Eli felt a strange pull, a dark curiosity that gnawed at him. One fog-laden evening, unable to resist, he ventured outside. The air was thick with dampness, and the familiar sounds of the village faded into an eerie silence. Then he heard it, a soft, haunting tune that danced on the wind. It was beautiful and sorrowful, calling him closer. Drawn by the music, Eli stepped into the woods, the fog swirling around him like a living thing. The trees loomed tall and twisted, their branches reaching out like skeletal figures. As he walked deeper, the melody became clearer, beckoning him toward a clearing. There, he found a figure cloaked in shadows, face obscured. "Who are you?" Eli called, his voice trembling. The figure paused, and the music stopped. Silence enveloped them.
"Come closer,"
the Whistler replied, voice smooth like silk, yet laced with something sinister. Eli felt an irresistible urge to obey, each step drawing him nearer. "Why did you call to me?" he asked, heart pounding in his chest.
"Because you are lost,"
the figure replied, slowly revealing its face. It was a grotesque mimicry of humanity, eyes sunken and hollow, a smile stretching unnaturally across its lips.
"And I can show you the way."
Eli stumbled back, the reality crashing over him like a wave. The stories were true. Panic surged through him, and he turned to flee, but the Whistlers stepped forward, the fog thickening around them.
"You can't escape the truth,"
it hissed, voice dripping with malice.
"You've always belonged to me."
As he ran, the fog closed in, swirling with a life of its own, disorienting him. Shadows darting between the trees, whispering his name, each voice a memory of those who had come before him. He could see their faces in the mist, twisted, mournful, trapped. Finally, he broke through the trees and back into the village, gasping for breath. The villagers stared at him, their faces pale and drawn. "You shouldn't have gone," the old woman said, shaking her head. "Now it knows you." What do you mean?" Eli's voice trembled. "The Whistler only wants what it has lost," she replied, her eyes glistening with tears. "And it will take you too." As the fog rolled in, thicker than before, Eli felt a presence at his back. The whispers returned, louder now, a cacophony of desperate souls. He turned, but there was no one there, only the dark, suffocating fog, closing in like a shroud. The village of Hollow Creek remained silent, save for the soft, haunting melody that echoed through the trees. And when morning broke, the villagers would find another empty house, another lost soul claimed by the whistler, forever haunting the woods, waiting for the next curious heart to lure into the darkness.